Hello, I'm back with another video. Thank you for coming and viewing my channel. This is Living in Fun, and I thought I would come back and do another video just to share some things with you all. So one thing I wanted to say, I'm out here walking, getting some exercise because I haven't done much for cardio. I've done my gym, my weightlifting, but I haven't done much cardio. So I'm out here walking. But anyway, I just wanted to talk with you about eating healthy. And the reason why I'm saying eating healthy is because at this day and time, we really need to look out for ourselves. We need to maintain healthy eating to keep up our immune system, because if we don't keep up our immune system, then we're going to have issues. In other words, like if illness comes your way, for instance, you know what we're all dealing with this day and time, if that illness comes your way, you know, you have a hard time fighting it off and you know, feeling better and recovering. So when you do things to build up your immune system, you know, increase your immune system, it makes it easy for you to fight off diseases and illness. In other words, the things that you put in your body, you need to be very mindful of those things. And when you're mindful, it helps you to make the right choices. You know, we all make mistakes. We all have days where we decide, well, I want that candy bar, or I want that soda. You know, I want, you know, those French fries or Burger King or whatever. We all have those days. You know, I get those days too. But the thing is, making the right choice. You know, even though you go to a fast food restaurant, you can eat the burger, don't get the fries. You know, or just eat the fries and try and eat something else healthy with it. And, you know, back in the day, or not even back in the day, even during this day and time, you see people who will get an unhealthy meal, but then they'll turn around and they'll get a diet soda. What's the purpose of having a diet soda if your meal is unhealthy? That diet soda is not going to decrease the amount of calories you take in. It's not going to counteract the calories that you've taken in. You know, with that burger that you're eating, the fries, you supersize your meal, and, you know, not just even supersizing your meal, you know, some of the things that you get added on your burger. You know, when you got a burger and then you throw bacon on it, and then you throw some sauerkraut on it, or some cheese on it. You know, you put, you know, make it a double burger. You know, so, you know, all that's not good for your diet soda. Is not going to cancel out those calories, nor is a diet soda going to counteract those calories. Whereas, you know, the calories say, oh, well, you know, she had a diet soda, so yeah, we need not do, you know, what we were trying to do. You know, that's not going to happen. So you have to do things that is going to be healthy for your body. You know, that's what you got to put in your body, healthy things. And you know, when I was growing up, you see a lot of the kids in school, and I'm sure, you know, some of you all remember this, but you see the kids eating whatever crap they wanted, but then they're drinking a diet soda, you know. And I see that even nowadays when I go to work, you see people that are eating a bunch of crap, to put it nicely, for lunch. They're eating that stuff for lunch, but then they're drinking a diet soda. And I so want to say, what's the purpose of drinking that diet soda? That diet soda ain't gonna do nothing concerning what you've eaten. You know, and they say, yeah, you know, I try to, you know, watch what I eat, and I only drink diet sodas. You know, diet soda doesn't work. You know, and I have to say that, you know, back in the day, my mom used to drink what was called Diet Right soda. And it tastes nasty. You know, as a kid, you know, of course you're going to sneak some of your mom's food or soda. You know, that's just what kids do. And but you know, the Diet Right soda was actually it was actually pretty yucky, you know what I mean? And but my mom used to drink Diet Right sodas, and she would not only drink Diet Right sodas, but, you know, she would eat she liked the Mr. Good bar, candy bar. That was her candy bar. And so, you know, she would have that. And anyway, as time goes on, my mom's retired, and she later finds out that she's a diabetic, and so, she's trying to figure out, well, how did I become a diabetic? I don't eat, a lot of bad food. She cooked her food at home, but I guess that diet soda, eventually catches up with you, like candy, sugar. And so she ended up becoming a diabetic. She ended up stopped drinking sodas. She would just drink, some tea or a cup of coffee, or she just have some water after that. But I must say that because of the things we did for my mom, when she passed, she was not a diabetic. She was no longer a diabetic. And I know people say, well, how can you not be a diabetic? Well, in other words, because, as she got older and, she had a stroke later in life, that, we began to prepare her meals, or, my older sister would prepare meals for herself and for my mom. And in doing that, I told my sister, well, make sure mom eats more dark leafy green vegetables. If you do sweet potatoes, fine. Just, sweeten it with a little bit of honey. Don't use sugar, and, add vinegar to the greens. That cuts the sugar. Add cinnamon, to the sweet potatoes and what other foods that, you can sweeten foods with oatmeal, whatever. Add cinnamon. The reason why is because cinnamon cuts the sugar. It's something about cinnamon, it just cuts the sugar, so that's some of the things that we began to do for my mom. And so the doctor had prescribed for her to be on insulin, 30 units a day. And we noticed this 30 units ain't working. Mama getting weak and diaphoretic, and that's not working. So eventually I made the choice of taking my mom off of the insulin. And of course, every time she go to the doctor, doctor's like, yeah, how's it going? And you're taking your insulin, and I see your levels are down good. And we're like, yeah, whatever, because there were certain medications that my mom needed, but there was other things we weren't giving her, because we learned how to control her diet. And in controlling her diet, she wasn't having those problems. She wasn't having, when she passed, my mother passed at age 87, and she did not die because of high blood pressure. She did not die because of any kinds of heart disease or being a diabetic. She didn't lose a limb or none of that kind of stuff. None of her toes or legs turned black and, necrotic and had to be taken off. None of that kind of stuff. When my mother passed, she passed from old age. In other words, her lungs gave out. One lung said, I'm tired, I'm done. The other lung was still breathing. And as the way I explained it to my mom, I said, Mom, one of your lungs has said, I'm done, 87 years. Ooh, can't take it anymore, got to go. And the other lung was still breathing, saying, wait a minute, man, come on back. And the other one's like, nah, man, I'm out. So, I explained to my mom, I said, one of your lungs has stopped. It's old age. It's just old age, Mom. And she was like, okay. And she was cool with that. I'm like, you ready to go, Mom? She's like, yeah, I'm ready. I'm tired. I'm ready. And so, eventually my mom passed. And then it didn't take too long, but, she passed. And but the wonderful thing is, because we changed her diet, she did not have diabetic issues and problems like going into a diabetic coma, or issues where her sugar was dropping too low, or it was extremely high and we had to take her to the hospital. None of that. She, like I said, she didn't lose any fingers, toes, nothing became necrotic, and fell off, and we had to take her to the doctor. And every time the doctor went, he was like, oh, your numbers are looking good. Oh, your blood pressure is looking good. Your weight is looking good. And it's not like my mom was huge. It's amazing, because before she passed, before she got to the point where one lung stopped, I took her to the doctor for a regular appointment, and she gets on the scale, and she's weighing 116 pounds. And I'm like, 116 pounds, and I looked and I was like, 116 pounds? She had on a jacket. She had on a heavy sweater. She had a jean skirt on that was one that she had when she was a little larger. She had on a jean skirt that was too big, and it was almost, down to her ankles. It was that long. And then she had her, her shoes and socks on, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh my goodness, you weighing 116 pounds with all this clothing on. How much do you really weigh? In other words, I think she probably was weighing maybe about 108, maybe 105 pounds. Now, you might say, oh, well, that's skinny, that's scrawny. Well, she didn't really look skinny and scrawny, with a small amount of clothes on. She wasn't skinny and scrawny looking. She wasn't, it's just that she wasn't. My mom was short. She was about 5 feet tall, and all. So a person 5 feet tall, really, they shouldn't be weighing no more than, I think when they get up to 120 pounds, I think that's overweight for a person that's 5 feet tall. So she was actually in the size that she should have been, which was probably still bigger than the size she was when she first got married, before she had kids. And but anyway, what I was saying is basically, by us controlling her diet and changing her diet, it controlled the problem of being a diabetic. It controlled the problem of having high blood pressure. She didn't have those issues anymore. So I'm sharing this with you all to basically say that, for women, this is a message really to women. As women, we're the ones that go to the grocery store. We buy the groceries. We bring them home, put them up, and we cook the groceries, okay? And so our family is not really going to get overweight unless we bring home the junk. So if you are one that's bringing home the junk, you might want to stop bringing home the junk, because you make the groceries. Who's picking up the junk food? I mean, yeah, kids get in the store and they go, Mommy, I want this, I want that, can I want this? But still, you as the parent have the, you're the one in control who can say, okay, we'll get that. No, we won't get this. But if you bring home a cart full of a whole bunch of snacks and junk, that's what your kids are going to eat. That's what your husband's going to eat. That's what everybody in your house going to eat. They're going to eat the junk. And then when you try and cook the real food, they're going to look at you like, ugh, I don't want that. I want them fake chicken nuggets. That fake meat over there, Mama, that's chicken nuggets? That's what I want. They're not going to look at the real stuff. They're going to eat the junk. And so, as your kids get bigger and they're in school, you notice that, now your daughter's a little butterball. Or your son fat and he don't want to run. They don't want to participate in sports because they're heavy. And yeah, people say, oh, my baby thick. My baby got meat on her bone. No, she ain't got meat on. Well, she do got meat on her bone. She got a lot of fat along with that meat on her bones. Okay, let's just be real. Let's just be truthful. Some of you may not like what I'm saying, but I'm just being honest. Just because she all fat and chunky. Is she fat and chunky because, A, you overfed her formula? You put a whole lot of rice, or pablum as they call it, rice cereal or pablum in her bottle of milk to knock her out and make her go to sleep, or to fill her up so she ain't hungry, or she ain't, making a lot of noise and hollering for you to, get some attention. You overfeed her. Is that what you did? Is that why she's got curves and my baby chunky and my baby thick? Is that why your baby thick? That could be why your baby's thick. And people say, oh, well, yeah, I'm big boned. In all my life, I've only met one woman that was big boned. One female, and she wasn't huge, but she said, Eleanor, I'm big boned. And I was like, really? She said, put your hand around my wrist. I put my hand around her wrist, even though she looked soft and cushiony. When I wrapped my hand around there was no soft and cushion. I was actually touching bone on each side of my finger. It wasn't like where you squeeze in and it's cushiony. No, when I put my hand there was just bone. So yes, she was big bones. She had big bones. She did. She had thick bones, and then there are other people that in my at the same job, that they were like, yeah, I'm big boned too. I wrapped my hand around their wrist and was able to squeeze, and in other words, they weren't big boned, they were just fat and all. And so a lot of people that tell you that they big bone, they're not necessarily big bone, they fat. They could have been overfed as a child, and if you're overfed as a child, then you're going to keep eating, as you get older and you get into elementary school and so on. And it is bad, and not trying to talk about folks, but it's us mothers, women who sabotage our children. And it's because we buy the wrong stuff and bring it in our house, and then we give it to them. And then, when you look at your child and say, girl, you getting just as fat. You can't fit none of your clothes. You fat. You stop eating too much. Who bringing the food in the house? That baby don't work a job. She ain't got a car where she can go to the store and buy food. And if she has some money, she ain't trying to buy food. Definitely not dinner for the house. So, to the mothers, if you buy healthy food and cook healthy food in your home, your family has to eat what you cook. If they decide not to eat it, they'll go hungry. If they're kids, you've got to teach them how to eat right and how to eat healthy. It starts with you. It starts with the mother. You're the nurturer. You're the one that cooked the meals 9 times out of 10. Yeah, there's some daddies that cook and men that love to cook. I get that, but 9 times out of 10, it's the female. So it's our responsibility to, if we're looking after our kids, look after our kids' health, because these days with the diseases and germs and, that thing that they call that's going around here, where you got to get a vacation, you know what I mean? You got to get a vacation. And, that stuff that's going around is taking people out, and if it's not killing you, it's having, I guess you could say a recourse where it comes back. You get over it and you well, but then you realize, hey, my lung capacity is not as good as it used to be. I don't have the stamina that I used to have. I can't stand as long, or I can't walk long like I used to. I get short of breath, and that's because, the illnesses that are out here. So when you eat right and healthy, you build your immune system. You build the immune system of the kids. Back in the old days, you didn't get a lot of junk. If you got to go to the candy lady, I'm just speaking for myself. If you got to go to the candy lady, it was because mama wanted to be nice, because she wanted to miss the good bar. In my mama's case, she wanted to miss the good bar, or a soda. And so she let you go to the candy lady, because while you get your little candy, you pick up what she wants, or you go to the store, you get what she wants. So you're being treated to some candy. But candy wasn't a everyday thing that you got to eat and all the time. And cookies, no. And my mother loved baking. My mother could cook. She could cook. And as far as things made from scratch, baked goods, cakes, she could make all of that. Pies, all kind of, puddings. She could do all of those things. My mom, she was gifted, in making sweets and desserts. So we always had dessert, but still, even though mom baked cakes and she baked cakes from scratch, we won't sit there eating a great big old chunk of cake. Oh no, you got a skinny little sliver of cake, and that was it. Go somewhere, go sit down, or go in there and read a book, and it's some of the things she said. Go read a book. She never said go sit down somewhere. It's just go read a book. You bored? Go get a book. Let me give you a newspaper so you can read it. And even after you read it, I need you to write me a book report. Yeah. So anyway, you learn how to find something to do quick. So, but anyway, my mom would give us a treat like that. But she cooked a lot of vegetables. We ate our vegetables. Yes, granted, she cooked stuff like rutabaga, which I don't like still to today. And she fixed things like beets. I never liked beets. However, if I'm making a smoothie, then I'll put a beet in my smoothie, because it really changes the flavor. It sweetens the smoothie, and it gives it like a tangy taste, which is really very good. And also, I like a beet when it's in a smoothie. But other than that, no, I'm not gonna eat a beet. Beet, okra, no, okra is slimy. I don't care if you fry it, boil it, saute it. It's slimy. At least that's the way it tastes to me, slimy. So, but anyway, my mom would fix lots of vegetables, and she made sure we ate it. If you didn't eat it, trust me, that plate came back tomorrow morning for breakfast. And if you ain't eat it at breakfast, that plate was going to be looking at you at lunch. And if you still won't trying to eat it, Oh, trust me, the belt was coming. The belt was coming. Some people say that's cruel and, that's wrong, to beat a kid with a belt. I'm sorry, but spoil the rod, spoil the child. Spare the rod, spoil the child. And, so I don't disagree with, disciplining this disciplining your child. You don't beat them out of anger, but, you discipline them, explain to them why, they're in trouble for what they did. And, but anyway, like I said, my mom made sure we ate, and she made sure we ate healthy. So therefore, as an adult, once I had kids, it was all about feed my kids what's healthy, and I know it gets hard, when you get married, because when you're married, you got two people, that are saying, well, how about this for dinner? And one said, well, how about that? Like for instance, my ex husband used to like noodles, and he ate noodles so much that, eventually he became a diabetic. Yeah. And so, in being a diabetic, I told him, well, you need to monitor your sugars and all and see what's going on, And in monitoring his sugars, he discovered that eating noodles caused his sugar to go really high, whereas eating rice did not cause his sugar to go high. If he ate a baked potato, that did not cause his sugar to elevate, his sugar levels to elevate. But if he had noodles, which is something he loved. He had noodles every day with dinner. Every day he wanted some kind of noodles, and because he liked to cook, he was cooking noodles. And also, but in that, he became a diabetic. But then I began to notice that our son began to gain weight, and be heavy, where he was always a little, not skinny but muscular, small but muscular, just fit. Body was just tone and all. But as time went on, I noticed my son began to put on that weight. So noodles apparently is not good for him either, because it causes him to gain weight. And not only him, everybody gained weight except my daughter. She was the smallest thing in the house, the skinniest thing in the house, but the rest of us were on our way to fatdom, and I'm gonna call it fatdom. And we were just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, but anyway, life goes on, and things have changed. So my son is married, and so he's his wife, he and his wife work on eating healthy, but it's also, not only do they have to eat healthy, but they have to teach their children how to eat healthy. They have to provide healthy things. My daughter does the same thing. She provides healthy foods. Her boys really don't do a lot of cookies and ice cream and junk and candy. Every now and then they get something, but usually, they're like, Mom, can I get some chips? Well, you would think, oh, they're going to eat potato chips. No, they're not eating potato chips. They're asking for seaweed chips. Yes, seaweed chips. That's what they're asking for. So, they want stuff like that, or some kimchi. They're like, Mom, can I get some? They're excited about stuff like that. So it's all about eating healthy. And I just wanted to, come on and just to share with you all that, especially with the women, we have to do better, not only by ourselves, but by our children, by our families, our husbands, because they're not going to get the junk unless we buy it. And, if you're one that's buying it and you say, oh, I need to lose some weight, I'm getting a little heavy, and, I guess I'll go and I'll join a gym, or, I'm going to go and buy this workout video, and I'm going to start working out, or I'm going to drink more water. All that is nice, but what you really need to do is watch what you bring in. You'll find that if you change your eating habits, you'll begin to drop weight. And here's a little tidbit for those of you that are saying, well, I need to lose weight. I want to lose weight. Here's a simple thing. If you're a woman, if you would eat 2 ounces of meat, I'm going to say 5 times a day, and have with it 1 cup of greens. That could be mustard greens, beet greens, collard greens, turnip greens, shard greens, spinach. 1 cup of dark leafy green vegetables with that meat for 5 meals during the day. And breakfast, have an oatmeal. Have oatmeal. You know what I mean? Or if you do an egg, Don't eat the egg yolk. In other words, boil the egg. Fix yourself 3 boiled eggs. After you boil them, shell them, take the shells off, and then after you take the shell off, remove the yolk. In other words, split the egg in half, take the yolk out, throw it in the trash. Throw it, just throw it. Don't eat the yolk. And if you eat that egg white and the greens 5 times a day, as a female, I guarantee you will lose 7 pounds in 1 week. But you've got to stick with it. It really works. I mean, I have shared this with people, and a gentleman I shared it with not too long ago, and he called me, I guess about a month, 2 months later, and he told me, he's like, oh my gosh, you told me to do that. I went home and I did it. He said, oh my goodness, I have lost so much weight. I went to a family reunion. My family didn't know who I was, and they were asked, they thought I had a gastric bypass. And, in other words, this guy was really heavy, and he was saying his family thought he had a gastric bypass, and they were like, no, there's no way you lost that weight just eating meat and greens. And he was like, yeah, all I did was eat meat and greens, 4-ounce piece of meat and a cup of greens. 5 meals a day, but you got to look at it. You might say, oh, greens for 5 meals, but look at it. Greens have in it a lot of vitamins and minerals that your body needs. So it's not like your body going to be missing, the nutrients. It's in the greens. There's vitamin D in it because they're outgrowing in the sun. There's A, there's B, there's C, there's vitamin E in it, there's calcium in some of the greens, there's vitamin K, there are minerals, there's iron in it, there's phosphorus, there's magnesium, a lot of the things that your body needs to be able to live. You need that magnesium. It not only helps with your bones and your digestive system and your bowels, but it helps with so many things. The magnesium, you know what I mean. It also helps with your heart. That potassium helps with your heart. The vitamin D, your skin, your bones, everything is in some greens. So it might make good sense to fix a pot of greens and work on eating that for the week. Just try it. I dare you to try it. A pot of greens, and some meat, 2 ounces of meat, 5 times a day. It works, y'all. It really works. That's part of how I lost my weight. That's called a rapid diet. My ex, when he did it, he dropped 10 pounds in 1 week. Yes, I felt some kind of way because, men drop weight faster than women. But anyway, excuse me, try doing that and see what happens. I dare you to give it a try. You're going to see some results, and you're going to see some good results. You really are. All those vitamins, iron, minerals, improve your skin. Your thoughts will be more clear. Your hair, so many things. So give it a try. But anyway, like I said, I just wanted to come out and just to encourage you all on something to do, and it's all about healthy living. It's all about enjoying life. You got to do what it takes to enjoy life. Get outside, get some fresh air, get some sun. And I say this because literally I wanted to go to sleep. I got up early this morning, and we're saying about 6 o'clock. Got up early, got busy, did what I need to do, did some running, took care of some errands, and I'll come back, ate, and trust me, I was ready to go to sleep. I was like, I need to take me a nap. I am not trying to go out to that park, but rather than take a nap at 3 something, well, it's a little later than 3 now, but rather than take a nap, I figured, okay, let me get out here and let me go for a walk. And not only going for a walk, I decided I would do a video, and just to encourage you. That's all, just to encourage you. I mean, I'm nobody special. I'm not all that. I have my up days and my down days and all, but I get out here and I try. If I mess up, say going to a restaurant, because you meet up with folks and they might say, well, let's go eat here or whatever. And if I go and I order something, that I really shouldn't be eating, but I want it, I'll eat a little bit of it, and I'll bring the rest of it home and have another small, portion of it, the next day, or, take it to work with me. I don't gobble it down all at one time, because when you do that, kind of makes you lazy. You get what they call the itis. And yeah, I'm not trying to gain the weight back. I'm trying to get rid of the weight. So, like I said, I appreciate you all coming. Take time to come out and take a look at my channel and hear what I have to say. And yeah, that's it. Just you come out and hear what I have to say. And just to encourage you as mothers, we have to do better. And we want our kids to be healthy. We want our kids to outlive us. We don't want our kids to die before us, and certainly not dying of sickness, So it's all about building the immune system. I mean, there are some things that you can take, like my mom used to give us back in the old day, like cod liver oil. Yes, it tastes nasty, but it works. Cod liver oil, that's your vitamin A and your vitamin D. You can also do what's called oil of oregano. Oil of oregano. Okay, same oregano that you have in your cabinet that you sprinkle on your food, one of the seasonings herbs that you use. You can take that and put it on your food, and what it does is oregano is an antibacterial, it's an antifungal, it's an antihistamine, it's an antibiotic, it's an antifungal. It is also a pain reliever too, y'all. I'm serious. It's a pain reliever. I have a friend, and she's been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and the Lord told me to take my oil of oregano with me when I went out of town. So I took it with me. I put it. She told me about her knee having pain. Put some on her knee. She rubbed it in, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, the pain is gone." And then not just her. I had a neighbor, older woman, who was also diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and she was talking about her knees and her legs hurt. So I went up to my apartment, got the oil of oregano, put a couple drops, on her, and she rubbed it in. And when she got up, and I, went on back to my apartment, and but when I come back out, she says, "Eleanor, oh my goodness, I rubbed that stuff on my knee. My knee not hurting. Look at me." And she was moving fast and walking and bending and squatting. And this lady had to be, I'm going to say, at least 75 years old. And she was like, "Oh my goodness, it doesn't hurt." She says, "I got to get some of this. Where can I buy it?" And so, I gave her the information, and she went and brought herself a bottle of it, and she uses it, and but it helps her. I know we have, everybody say, "Well, God created, he gave the doctors knowledge to be able." Well, yeah, he kind of gave all of us knowledge, but the question is, do we want his knowledge and his wisdom? And if you ask Father, he'll teach you these things of how to heal your body. There's a book that I ordered, and it's called Heal Thyself. And yes, I know, we're good at saying, "Oh Lord, heal me. God, if you just heal me, please heal me. Oh Lord, you just take the pain away." Well, the Lord has already given us things to heal thyself. In other words, he's giving you the foods to eat. If you eat the right food, it will heal your body. Did y'all know that blueberries stops inflammation? Blueberries. If you would eat a handful of blueberries a day, it would decrease your inflammation. In other words, if you're dealing with something like rheumatoid arthritis, if you take blueberries, a handful every day, you'll notice that arthritis is not bothering you, not the way it used to. No. And again, yeah, I know so many people. A coworker of mine, she, has rheumatoid arthritis, and so I told her about the blueberries, and she was like, "Oh yeah." She said, "I hate blueberries." I said, "But they work for you. You might want to learn how to eat them since they work." And it's just a blueberry, really. You can go blueberry picking. They have blueberry farms, and you can go pick blueberries, pay for them, and go home. Or you can go to the store and buy them. Choice is yours. So, but anyway, she began to buy blueberries and eat them 2 weeks later, she called me back. She was like, Eleanor, girl, I've been eating the blueberries. I don't have a problem with getting up. My legs, I ain't got a problem with my legs and my bones and my joints and everything. She's like, oh my goodness, and all I'm doing is eating blueberries. I can't believe, it worked. This is true, girl. I'm glad you told me about these blueberries. And then when she went back to the doctor said, I got this prescription I'm going to write you because you got rheumatoid arthritis and this will help you with your joints. She said, I don't need that prescription. Of course, he said, what? And she said, I don't need that prescription. I don't have a problem with my joints anymore. See, watch this now. And normally the interesting thing is, she's a very tall woman, like 6 foot plus, and when she walked, she would lumber like a giant. You know what I mean? And so she would rock like 4 times. I mean, kind of. To be able to get up out of the chair, she had to rock to get that momentum going to be able to stand up. So once she started taking those blueberries, she said, girl, I don't even have to rock no more. I just stand right up. I said, what? She said, no. She said, you know how I used to rock to get out the chair? I said, yeah. She said, I don't do that anymore. I just stand right up. So, when the doctor was trying to write her prescription, she said, Doc, watch this. She said, I don't have to rock. And she stood right up, and the doctor was like, and so he was like, well, okay, well, that's good, but I'm going to still go ahead and write you this prescription. And she was like, well, ain't no need of you writing the prescription because I'm not going to take it. So, there are things out here that Father has created for the body to help heal your body. You don't have to keep running to these doctors. No offense with doctors. I mean, because no offense, they do what they do, but you don't want a Band-Aid when you got a sore and it's gaping and it's oozing and pus and green stuff and whatever's coming out of it. You don't want nobody to put a Band-Aid on it. You want something that's going to heal your body, something that's going to cure your body, make the sore go away, going to heal your body. So, time out for Band-Aids. Eat right. Build your immune system. Stay healthy. Lose weight. Be in shape and not A shape. And I say A shape because my shape used to be round, but now I'm in shape. So do the things you need to do to make yourself healthy. Just a little bit of encouragement, that I wanted to share with you all. So I guess I will go ahead and close and get off of this channel. Yeah, it's time for me to finish up my walk and go back home because I am planting seeds. I'm getting my garden ready so I can have some yummy foods to eat for this summer. Greens and green beans and strawberries. And yeah, y'all, strawberries are already out. If you like to do strawberry plants, get yourself some strawberry plants because strawberries are out. And also the season is coming where you can go and pick your vegetables. I love going to farms, driving out to farms and picking my vegetables, my fresh vegetables and fruits and taking them home and freezing them. And it's just so wonderful. Anyway, it tastes so much better than some of the stuff that you buy out of the store. So anyway, just want to encourage you all to do what you need to do to help yourself, to improve your health, to give you longevity of life. Because we all want to live a long and a prosperous life, and we want to live it without sickness, without pain, and without disease. So thank you again for coming by and watching my channel. And I just ask that you would hit the, hit the bell so you can be notified every time that I add a video, and then like and subscribe. And yeah, because I would like to, of course I'd like to get the numbers up. Everybody would like to get the numbers up. But I want to spread the information. So it's not about, being a YouTube guru. It's not about that for me. For me, it's all about sharing information. There's so much good information out here. But, 9 times out of 10, People don't share it. They don't tell you. If they're doing it and they're keeping it quiet. But I can't keep it quiet. Father has given it to me. He's allowed me to share things with people. So I'm taking the opportunity to share and to tell you the things that I know, so that you can be healthy, you can be well, you can overcome sickness and disease. You don't have to take all these pills, getting all these prescriptions, go and see all these different people. You can do the things yourself, something simple. Get out and exercise. You may not be able to go to a gym, but if you can get out and do a little walk to the corner of your street and walk back. You can't do that. If you got stairs, walk up the stairs and walk back down. Walk out to the mailbox. Do something. Get some exercise. Keep moving. Keep moving. You're not trying to sit around and die. I know I'm not. I'm not trying to retire, sit, and die. That's not happening for me. I'm all about living my life and having fun. My kids are grown. It's time for me to do what I need to do to maintain me, to have fun and to enjoy myself. So again, thank you for coming by. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.